Hey everybody, it's Never, and I can explain. So I know a while back I made a bunch of videos about why I was leaving World of Warcraft and wasn't too happy with how Blizzard was doing things, and one thing led to another, and then here I am doing a bunch of Guild Wars 2 stuff for a good while and some other things. And so what happened is the question that a few people may have. And so here I am to explain what's going on and why. I started to feel like I wanted to play again because I missed. A game provides basically four important things. The first one is a sense of competency, and that's one of the reasons that people play video games, is because if a game is well designed, it makes the player feel like they are good at playing the game. That's some things that demonstrate competency. So that's one thing. Another one is it provides players with a sense of autonomy. You feel like you can be individual and choose your own stuff, like what your character looks like, or your talent choices. This is my balance talents for soloing stuff. A third thing is that it provides a social interaction, and you can talk about the game with other people and relate to their stories and whatnot. And so that's good. And then the fourth thing, at least how I look at it, is a good game provides some sense of lasting progression. And World of Warcraft does all that very well, but the problem is that when I left in Shadowlands, it wasn't doing those things very well. The sense of competency was sort of eroded by the presence of a lot of borrowed power issues that we had been seeing for a while. The sense of autonomy was also affected by that, but it takes a back seat when you don't have any sort of feeling of accomplishment in the game. The social aspect was not too bad, but the people I was playing with had become more and more frustrated with some of the convoluted systems that existed in Shadowlands and had been in the game for a good while. And then finally the sense of progression really stopped mattering at all, because if the very beginnings of the reasons that you play are thwarted or dead on arrival by those bigger issues, then it doesn't really matter. And there was a whole bunch of controversy with Blizzard, and it had all sort of come to a spearhead, and I decided I was done, and I wasn't sure if things would ever get back. And I always kind of joked in my mind that if Blizzard were to allow like some more race class combinations for Druid, then I might consider coming back. But anyway, fast forward a while, I did a bunch of other stuff, and then here we are, and a few people recommended that I check it out because Dragonflight was the best expansion that Blizzard made in quite a long time. So I thought, okay, I'll look into it. I'll see. I started playing with the talent calculator, and I thought this is actually really good. And so then I started looking at a few other things and saying, okay, well, how is this thing, or how is that thing? Is it any better? I asked a couple of people for their opinions, and everybody gave some good recommendations. And so I spent like a month and a half just sitting around thinking about it. I did other stuff during that month and a half, but I gave it some real thought, and ultimately decided, you know what, I'll give it a try for a month. I'll finish up some unfinished things in Shadowlands and see how that goes, knowing that that's not the new stuff, but to see what sort of difference there had been. And the short of that is that I thought it was pretty great, and it was nice to be able to burn through the renown levels and just finish out the story of Shadowlands, which I should make another video about, because I actually personally, with the right kind of information and a certain point of view, actually kind of liked the Shadowlands story and even a lot of the resolutions with it. I have not finished the Dragonflight story. In fact, I'm still fairly early in it. I level capped a week or so ago, and I'm going through that as slowly as I want to. But the reason that I'm still here is because it's been better. And I'm standing right here to demonstrate how that's been better. Because if you take a look, the Darkmoon Faire is active right now. And this is the NPC that has been here, has been showing up for a good long while now, that can teleport you to Thunderbluff to the Darkmoon Faire portal. And here's the thing, if you want some evidence that Blizzard is doing some stuff differently, this is it. Because if you go take me to the Fair staging area, it costs 25 copper. Now, I am quite certain that this used to cost at least 1 silver. And, I mean, there you go. That's 75% better. And I think that Blizzard at least deserves some credit for that change. But there have been some other changes too. There was a really good interview that Mike from Preach Gaming did with Ian Hazakostas about why did it take so long for Blizzard to essentially, pull their heads out of their butts and figure out that players hated borrowed power and a bunch of other things. And the description that he gave of the situation, while I don't think was intentionally misleading or malicious or anything, but it was certainly framed in such a way that it was carefully protecting Blizzard's position and their assets on it. I have to qualify that, but I mean, it's a pretty good explanation of understanding the way that a development cycle works and what sort of risks that you can take and do they pay off and whatnot. I think Blizzard was just scared of changing too much too soon, and by the time they realized that they should have been more aggressive about it, it was way too late, and that is what ended up costing them so much in their player base and all of that. But my point is, I love the Darkmoon Faire carousel music. I've missed that. My point is that here I am. If you've noticed on the channel, I've been doing a lot of classic hardcore stuff here and there, just seeing how that goes. So far in hardcore, I've had 1 character death, and since then I've been exceedingly careful about everything. I just wanted to explain what I'm doing, why I'm here, and what we can see in the future. I don't know. I still have plenty of intentions to do the other things that I talked about in my last update video, and a lot of that comes down to how some things in my personal life, how they play out, how long it takes for certain changes to be made. It could be months, it could be weeks, I don't know. But we will see how that goes. In the meantime, here we are, back with some Tauren action, and we'll see what happens there. I appreciate everyone who has stuck with me through content changes, or anybody who enjoys anything I put out, because really that's what it's about. I wouldn't make videos or stream or do anything like that if I didn't think that somebody could be benefited by it. And what does that usually look like? If I give you something to think about, then I think that's pretty good. If I can brighten your day because you can get some form of entertainment or connection that would make an awful situation slightly less awful, I think that's a worthwhile thing too. So thanks to everyone who stuck around. Thanks for new people who are checking it out. And we'll see where this goes in the future. Okay, thanks, bye.